Hello, internet humans and robots. Today I'm going to work on translating something, um, and what I'm going to be translating is a story from the first dictionary of Láadan. So I thought, oh, can't see me. There I am. So sometimes I translate fables and things like that, and um, well, I always run into problems doing that. So I thought maybe I'd just try to translate the Little Red Hen and kind of see how close I get to the translation um, in the book given to us by the creator of the language, and then kind of compare. I'm not going to translate everything in here. I'm just going to start it off. I already pasted in the English parts, and then after I translate it, I'll go back and compare what I have to what's in here, and we'll see how that goes. Um, okay, so I'm going to use my standard tools. I always have the dictionary open and the wiki book, at least, for my reference material. I need to move my stupid face somewhere else. Let me maybe squish this. I don't know. We'll just throw me down in the corner, and you have some cats you can watch. And I'll try not to write over under the webcam view. Okay, so we're gonna start this out. Let me just go to the grammar reference real quick. We have once upon a time there was a little red hen. So the first thing in Láadan is that you're generally always going to have a speech act morpheme and a evidence morpheme. So we'll start with that, the speech act morpheme. We are saying, hey, once upon a time this thing happened. Sorry for my voice sounds terrible. Okay, be. But this is also a story, so we'll put de over here. I am making a statement, but this is a narrative. Once upon a time, so we'll also want some sort of tense, because usually stories are told after the fact. So there's past, there's the far past, and then there's the hypothetical. Oops. So we'll use this one, because it's a fake story. It's not a real story. It didn't actually really happen. We're just making it up. So once upon a time, really, and as a note, Láadan is full of little errors, and that's just kind of, it's a language, they're errors. I've read articles where Suzette, or maybe even in the grammar book, she mentions like, oops, I did this, I didn't mean to, it goes against the rule of not having two consonants together, but here we are, so we're going to keep it in language. So that's how that is. There's a few other things like that in Láadan as well. So once upon a time, there was a little red hen. So to me, like in other languages, you don't say like there was a little red hen. Like I would just kind of, my mind wants to translate that as there existed. Because English is weird and we do things weird. So exist, in, there was a little red hen. There's not a word for little in here. We'll do small. I need to add some synonyms. Synonym support. Small. Hiya. Okay, I'm gonna get all the words I need and then add some markers in here. So hiya. Red is Laya. And chicken is lub. So in Láadan, if you're going to mix a adjective and a noun, you're going to need a marker for that. And that is the adjective marker. Adjective with noun. Where you just add wool to the beginning of your adjective. So I actually have two adjectives here. I'm not really sure what you're supposed to do in that case, but we'll add it in anyway. We'll hiya, we'll laya, we'll lube. And finally, let's do evidence morpheme. So again, this is a hypothetical situation, so we'll use wool. So I'm declaring, narratively, once upon a time, there existed a little red hen or chicken. And this, again, just reminding you it's hypothetical. So, okay, let's check the book. I'm not going to read it from the top paragraph. Let's look at the translation. So, once upon a time, Wolaya. So they put red first, red little hen. There's not a adjective marker on the noun here, but there generally should be. I don't know why there's not. But again, I also don't know what to do if you have two adjectives, and maybe that's something I need to look more into to find a grammar reason. Maybe it's stylistic, maybe it's a mistake, I don't know. But there was a little red hen. Okay, she worked very hard. So if I wanted to say she works, that'd be hal be. So be is third person singular. She works. Let's go ahead and just put errol, which is just past tense. So she worked. Now we need a degree, since this is very hard. She worked very hard. Hal, so to a unusual degree. Halehal, be, e. Don't autocorrect that. This isn't English. And she looked after her chick. So let's. I don't think there's like a look after. Look at to look. I'm gonna try care. She cared for her chick. Career, caress, take care of. Naya. Took care of. She did her chick. So lub, and then child, baby, child, chicken. There's a prefix for it. There's like ha and ya. I always forget which is which. Okay, ha. I think ya is maybe for like teenager level. So ha lub. Lub. I don't remember. We can also reference the grammar for the proper sounds, because sometimes I get them mixed up, because I've been studying a lot of Hindi lately. Dang it. Web browser's really slow. Beep doop doop. Let's go here real quick, just so I'm not getting myself mixed up. And the grammar reference. Is the U just a ooh? Moon, so lube. Okay. And then she looked after her chick. So it wasn't just a chick she was looking after. Also, I'm going to put the object marker. So this is the object. The child chick is the object. She is looking after the child is not looking after her. If it were not ambiguous, you could leave it off. Let me see. Child, and then since it's her child, we're going to use a possession marker. So there's a possession marker by reason of birth. So it's hers, that's the third person marker, by reason of birth. And I'm not going to put a evidence morpheme. It's going to be the same as before, so we'll just leave it off. Okay, am I missing anything? Let's check the translation. So before she worked very, there's a na there, so let's see what that is. Let's type in na. The dictionary just gets rid of accent marks when it's searching, so na is to continue to, so continually working. It wasn't just one instance of working very hard, it was a continual instances of working very hard. So continued to work very, use the same degree marker here. She did. And looked after alub. Okay, so is baby chicken. I put child chicken. She did not put a object marker here, but I think it would be kind of ambiguous, because if you're thinking about like the parent is sick and there's a kid, like the kid could take care of the parent, you could put it that way. So it could be ambiguous. I would just say, hey, she's looking after her chick. I'll put the object marker here. Okay. It's also missing her, or the possession by birth. It has this marker here, or a listing here, but the word isn't there. So I'm assuming that's a mistake. There are mistakes in this book. There's some, like a page in here that I scanned that I had got with my book that just says there's some problems, there's some errors. I haven't looked through all of the error listings, but you know, sometimes you need a second pair of eyes. I make mistakes all the time because I'm just doing stuff solo, and it can be hard to get someone to bother to spend time translating stuff to a language you invented in order to make sure you didn't make mistakes. So, we're QAing it right now. Okay, and she got by. So, and get by. Is that a word? Let's have to search all. Oh, to do well. Okay. So, if we do she does well and then add to a trivial degree, that makes it to get by. So, and then be. She got by. And they put the hypothetical marker. Okay, in the springtime, so spring is women. We need another marker to say what, like, you know, in the spring. So there's a location marker. We have one for place and we have one for time. I always forget which is which. In space, use ha. In time, use ya. So wemeneya. We need to separate our vowels and our consonants. So separate consonants with an E. Separate vowels with an H. So wemeneya in the springtime. The hen said. So I just know that the word for to say is de. So de lub, the hen said. We could also put Everil in here if we wanted the past marker, but I'm not gonna. Okay, so then the chicken is speaking in present tense. Well, future tense. I will plant the grain. So we'll need to build up a whole sentence again for this. Let's do promise. I promise. And then Aril, later in the future, I will plant the grain. So I will plant Madone le, she's speaking in first person, grain edeth. And for the promise, I don't know if you would put an evidence marker on that. Maybe you could, but I tend to just use the evidence marker with a statement. Okay. In the spring, the chicken said, I promise later to plant the grain, I will. And then I added the object marker, even though with grain, I mean, a chicken wouldn't really plant the grain, but the grain definitely wouldn't plant the chicken. So I think that would be not ambiguous. I think you could leave off the object marker, but I like to put it there unless it's just really, really obvious. Okay, so in the spring, Wemenaya, that spring in. Yeah. I don't. Yeah, I think that might be an error there too. That should be an E if they're separating out your consonants. Errol de lub. Or lube. Yeah. Not l. It's not the sound, it's the oo sound. Okay. Be arel dala le edethwa. Okay. What is dala? Dala. It is a plant, but it looks like the noun. Plant, plant, plant. That's that one. But then the one I used is to plant. So that looks like also an error. I would say this is the wrong word here. Grain, object, and then, oh, I used a promise. The hen in her story used a statement, just said matter-of-factly, I'm gonna plant the grain in the spring. I guess it's up to interpretation. I guess that makes sense to say, I'll just do it in the spring. Usually if I talk to myself like that, I'm like promising myself, like I promise I'll do my homework later, or whatever. I promise I'll grade these tonight. Okay. And she asked, who will help me? So, let's see, to ask. Meme. Be. And she asked. We'll go ahead and add. I don't know. I don't want to add past tense every time. It might be good to do. I'm just going to leave off the past tense marker. So, she asked, who will help me? So, with a who, what, when, where, why question, we have a special word that's beba. So, okay. First up, let's use the question marker because this is a question, so we need the question marker. Question. And then who will help me? So we need the word help. Then help. And then who will help me? Okay, so this is going to be the question word beba. So we basically just take third person and the question marker and kind of put that together. I also have that over here if you need some more examples. So, and I'll put the object marker with le. Who will help me? I don't know. What are you eating? So, here, what are you eating? Ne bebath. What are you eating? Okay. So, and she asked, who will help me? Let's check that out. E meme be ba aril. Well, I guess I should have put the future tense there. Who's going to help me in the future, not who will help me right now. Den bebaleth. Okay, so pretty close. The pig, let's see. I don't know, not me. Rale. Not me, literally. Sid the pig. Sid the pig. What is the word for pig? I don't know. Muda. To her. So there is a marker for goal and source marker. So if he's saying it to her, I guess it would be bede. Let's check that. Berale hule hulwal. Okay, that's different from what I had. This would be not me hule hul. What is that one? For sure. Okay, if you're adding some emphasis in there, definitely I am not going to. And then they also added their evidence morpheme and their speech act morpheme in there. So I was lazy, but I think that sounds more like what you would hear in speech. Okay. Excuse me. I'm getting over a cold and it's terrible. Okay. Errol de muda bedim wool. Okay. Said the pig. I could put past marker there. That would probably be the right thing to do if you were doing this properly. Said the pig to her. There is a rule for some of these where you can add an extra letter, but I don't remember the rule for that right now. I just know I've seen it. Let me check the grammar reference really quick, because some of them are like, oh, if this ends with this, you can do that. alternative to de. For some people, de, or, okay, let's also go look at that speech thingy again, because I know I sounds like eh, and e sounds like eh, right? Bell, big. So, for some people, de and de might sound too alike, so if you prefer, you can use dem instead of de. Okay, so that's just a stylistic choice, because it does kind of sound similar. I get them mixed up in my head all the time. So, bedde or beddim. Okay. And then repeat for said the sheep and said the cow. We'll skip that stuff. And then the hen says, I will do it all by myself. I will do it. We can also, let's just add the statement morpheme. I will in the future see if to do it. I would probably just translate this to I will do the work or something, but if we're translating I will do it all by myself, to do, I will, and then let's see if there's a word for, I guess be is also the word for it. I will do it by myself. I'm not sure what I would add in there to say by myself. With myself? Let me look at the with marker. With. I traveled with a cat. So, Dan. So let's use the reflexive myself. Le you, or le yo, rather. And then Dan. Oops. I will do it with myself. De lube, said the hymn. Arrow de lube. Okay. Hopefully that's not an important thingy. No, that's not. Okay. Not me. Okay. The arel hale. I will do the work. Le sholanil nalwe. Okay. I will. Alone manner. Okay. So let's change this to I will do the work instead of I will do it. I put with myself, but it looks like Suzette used a manner marker, like how you're doing something, how you're achieving it. What is this? Null, yeah. To denote a manner in which something is done, and then sholan would be alone. I would do it by myself. This one is just with myself. I will work with myself. I guess that just sounds completely different. So yeah, that might be this is a better translation, I think. But that's just how I was thinking when I was reading that. Okay, and she did the work. And arrow hal be. And she worked. She finished the work. She then here they used to do. She did the work. So shub behaleth. She did the work. I could also put she completed the work. We could use like the completion marker. Duration. So I would also think of this as, oh, she finished the work, maybe, or I don't know, but that works too. She did the work. All right. So how much of this have we gotten done? That would be this first paragraph, I believe. It's longer because it also had like the sheep says no and the Bob says no and whatever else. So that's only the first paragraph. I'm going to leave it up to you and challenge you to translate it and kind of compare your notes. That's your homework. If you want, if there's any interest, I can finish this up later on. Maybe this could be a two-parter. But for your homework, my challenge to you is to try to do the same thing. Just write down all the English parts. Try to come up with your own Láadan translation. If you're not good with the structure of sentences, I do actually have a list of pretty much all the types of structures you'd encounter. This one only lets you build a basic sentence. But that's all I've programmed in. But I have the rest of it down here. It's slow because I'm running OBS and Firefox. I really hope this video is not chuggy. No! It's so slow. Why does it not work good? Okay, well, forget about that. It has a huge ass freaking list of words in there, so it's not efficient. But you can use this for reference. You always got your speech act, then your auxiliary here would be your tense. You put your first verb, you can put a second verb there if you want, like I want to sleep. There you have want as one verb and sleep as the second one. You can negate it, your subject goes there, your case phrase, your object goes there, or you can add in some extra stuff like your markers here, there, this manner, this reason, and then your evidence morpheme at the end. So you can use that for reference. And then I also have the accenter you can use on the website and the dictionary, which would all be very useful. And then the homework is, once you're done with that, go to the message board if you want to, or just do it on Twitter or your blog or whatever. But you can go to the message board. Here's the forum. I need a better link to the message board. Don't know why I haven't. I've been really sick, so I haven't been updating the website for the past 2 weeks, which makes me mad. But you can join the message board. It has different parts. I changed it from just a Láadan message board to a multilingual message board. And almost nobody posts in it. But if you'd like, you can register. Post in the introduce yourself. I'll mark you as not a spam bot. And then you can post in the other forums as well. So there are some Láadan ones. You can post your translation in here. Get some feedback. Let us know what your experience was and what you thought of the whole thing. I always think it's really interesting to read other people's interpretations of translating things. And I'll try to do more videos like this where I translate things and kind of just step through like how the heck I'm even doing it. Because it's not like I have stuff, like I don't have the vocabulary of Láadan memorized. I know the grammar, but I sometimes even forget what the markers are. I don't keep that in my brain. So I always have my reference material open when I am writing stuff. So yeah, that is my challenge to you. Go finish translating the story. And if you want me to finish translating the story, leave a message or something. Because otherwise I'm not going to. I'm going to go translate something else. I might do some like Aesop's Fables or song lyrics or something like that, and just for fun try to translate stuff to Láadan. It can be entertaining to try to get around gaps in vocabulary when doing that sort of thing. So we'll see. Okay, that's it for now. I'm gonna, I guess, go to the gym with my husband even though I'm still sick and feel terrible and gonna die. Okay. I don't have a catchphrase like a lot of YouTube people, so otherwise just like GTFO and have fun.